If you have been super pig-tick that whole able-bodied family playing loud 新谣 song is on a PMA, your voice is finally heard了. But there's still some bad news, so what's wrong? So, unless you have always stayed home, you have seen countless PMAs on the roads. They look like PMD, you know the e-scooters that were banned since 2019, but they're actually not. You can think of them as an electric wheelchair, but not for people who cannot walk, but more for people who have difficulty in walking, like old people who cannot walk for too long. Basically, remember this, it's for people who have difficulty in walking, not for people who are lazy to walk. You know, like those drivers who turn on hazard lights to wait for cars to exit so that they can park nearer to the mall entrance even when there are many lots further away. And worst of all those lazy dogs park there so that they can walk to the next building cause the parking there is cheaper. Wow, idiots. Yeah, so PMA are kind of like electric wheelchairs and I ask you, there's no regulations on wheelchair, right? So basically, when there's no regulations, you know what's next? People abuse it like crazy. Cause you cannot give good things to Singaporeans, You will see able-bodied men who smoke on a PMA and then jump up the PMA and run like 小狼 when they see a cockroach. Some food delivery riders have also abused the system by using a PMA instead to deliver food. And in case you didn't know, while they are not as fast as a PMD, they can be pretty fast but technically on a footpath, they have a limit of 10 km per hour. So why hasn't there been any regulations? You see, since 2015, a panel has been set up to propose guidelines for the use of devices. You probably know by now that many guidelines have been set for many other devices. But for PMA, they actually recommended a light touch approach since it's used by people who really need them. The only key limitation is the 10 km per hour speed limit, which is the speed limit of footpath. On 14 December, the panel came out with recommendations of new guidelines. And while it's not 100% certain that these recommendations will be accepted, I bet all my assets that they work. Cause it's asking a wife is she hungry or not. The first recommendation is to reduce the speed limit to 6 km per hour. This is because this is the walking speed of people in Singapore. That makes sense cause the whole idea is to let users walk, not run. Now, this isn't just an option. They actually recommend that retailers can only sell PMAs with a speed limit of 6 km per hour. Which means those families that treat their PMA like their personal bus can only move at 6 km per hour. The second recommendation is to make the dimension restriction similar for both public path and public transport. And the third one is the most interesting one. Now, a family that likes 新谣 music can use one and even sing it to carry a family of 3. When you see them, you can only give them a death stare but can't do anything to them. Soon that might change. The panel recommends that in order to use one, they need to have an existing relevant certification or disability identification. However, they highlight that registration is not needed. You see, the goal is to make it simple for people who really need PMA and to stop the misuse by able-bodied people. So making it so strict might deter genuine users. Anyways, the reasons why these are important is because we are aging population, so more people might need PMA soon. These recommendations have been sent to the Ministry of Transport, which makes us pose that question again. What's with Isora now? Now, what's the bad news? You will still be seeing able-bodied families playing 新谣 music on the footpath because remember, these are just recommendations. They needed to be accepted and then the rules need to be confirmed as well. Usually the recommendations will be accepted in a few weeks and the rules will only be in after a few months. This means changes will only occur next year. Moreover, because some real users might need some time to obtain a certification if they didn't have it now, any enforcement on people misusing PMA won't occur so fast. So this means we'll still be seeing lots of people misusing PMA, but at least soon it'll be history. If you feel that you learned something, consider subscribing and also watch this video to be slightly smarter.